So many times on my social media accounts, I'll put out certain posts that help you to translate what anxiety is trying to tell you. However, there are many people that are still sort of confused as to what anxiety is trying to tell us. What are the messages? What are the signals? So, friends, today I want to dive deep into what your anxiety has been trying to tell you so that you can get to the root cause of all this and heal the anxiety for good. Let's dive in. My peaceful warriors, welcome to another important video on my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell for all the notifications, and if you'd like to learn more about any of my programs, click here at any point in the video. Now, it's kind of a strange thing, especially when you're at the beginning stages of experiencing anxiety, a strange thing to be told anxiety is trying to tell you something. Because the anxiety doesn't feel good, the accompanying symptoms don't feel good, the emotional ups and downs don't feel good, the messages coming from the inner protector telling you that something's going to go wrong soon in the outside world or in your body doesn't feel good. So we get so preoccupied in these not feeling good states. And what happens is it can lead to a chronic feeling of just blah, right? Of just, living so small because of the messages coming from anxiety. So I want to kind of decode some of these things for you today so that it can be easier for you to go, oh, anxiety is trying to tell me this, or oh, anxiety is trying to tell me that, rather than oh my God, I don't want to live with this anymore, right? Why do I have new symptoms? Why are my symptoms getting stronger, right? We want to kind of leave that frantic place, that place of monitoring, analyzing, so on and so forth, right? So let's dive into these truths, okay? Number one is anxiety is trying to tell you is honor your truth early, okay? And what that means, honor your truth early, is listen to your feelings and act on what matters before your body has to get louder to get your attention, right? So I bet you never crossed the idea that anxiety is a message, right? And it's not the anxiety that we need to deal with in terms of the symptoms and the effects, right? But it's more so the underlying messages that are coming through as symptoms, if that makes sense, right? So what you want to do is listen to your feelings and act on what matters before your body has to get louder, because oftentimes the body does get louder because we're not acting on the messages coming from the body, right? And so that can be anything, like, for example, and you want to pay close attention to this as you're going through the day, right? You're about to go do something that you think you enjoy, but the intelligence coming from your body is telling you something different, right? And the body brings up some more extra dizziness or fatigue, a lot of fatigue kind of signals, right? Or vibrations in the body, or just an overall feeling of not feeling good when you're about to do something, right? And you're consciously going, well, I used to do this thing all the time, right? But your body doesn't think the same way your conscious mind thinks. Your body is there always as a protective role, right? Trying to protect you from something it thinks that may be threatening in some way, okay? So it's important for you to go, I'm going to honor my truth in terms of what my body's trying to tell me. So if you're going to go do that thing and you become symptomatic before you're going to do it, don't just shy away and don't do it, because that sends a very deep fear signal in terms of that activity, right? And that environment, for example, right? Instead, you're going to go, I hear the messages, I'm going to slowly move through this, and I'm going to be true to my emotions, the emotions that are underneath the symptoms. So intuitively, you may say, oh, well, every time I do that thing, right, I feel like I'm kind of living a small life. I'm very quiet around people, right? And I don't really speak up and share my own ideas. Maybe it's a social conversation thing, people you're going to meet, right? So it's more so about feeling out why your body is creating symptoms, right? Feeling out why your body is creating symptoms. And it can be the simplest thing, like going for a walk, right? Going for a walk, you're going, I enjoy going for a walk, but maybe your body doesn't enjoy going for a walk. Maybe there's some kind of a threat signal in terms of the environment that you're going to walk in, right? Okay. Or maybe it feels like, you're too lonely when you're going for the walk, and then the body's creating symptoms for you to bring someone with you, or to speak through your headphones to somebody, to kind of make it funner. Because what anxiety tends to do is it makes our world very, very small. And the smaller our world becomes, the more heightened the symptoms become. What we do is we shy away from things because of fear and anxiety. But in truth, we have to continue moving towards unfamiliar experiences, old familiar experiences, continuing to show the body that it is safe to engage in these things, right? So I wanted to make sure that you understood that it's not the symptom that we deal with, it's the feelings underneath the symptom that we respond to, right? And what a beautiful way to go about your day. How am I doing responding to the signals coming up as symptoms, right? So much better than, oh God, what could this symptom be physically? Could it be something wrong with me? And then you're going down rabbit holes trying to chase diagnoses, right? I've been there. The second thing your anxiety has been trying to tell you is to relax the body more often, okay? Release unnecessary tension throughout the day and remind your nervous system that it doesn't need to stay braced all the time, right? So again, there's anxiety, and maybe the message is, oh, right? Anxiety is trying to warn me about something. This is a good opportunity for me to relax my body, right? And you can relax your body by putting your feet up on the wall. That's a very relaxing pose, right? There's child pose. It's kind of a starter for yoga enthusiasts out there. That's fantastic to relax the body, right? There's ways in terms of humming. You can hum a tune, which stimulates the vagus nerve, which is fantastic to relax the body. Or just simply lowering your shoulders and noticing, where in my body am I bracing, right? Oh, I'm bracing in my stomach. Let me let that go a little bit, okay? So we never think about this. In fact, when anxiety shows up, right, we don't relax at all. We go in the opposite direction, right? We tighten everything up. Everything becomes tight, not only in the body, but in thoughts. And next thing you know, our thoughts are so wired around fear that we don't take on anything. And again, just like before, our world becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, right? We think that we're incapable, when in truth, we're not working with the signals coming from the body. Can you see the difference here, right? But you are capable. It has nothing to do with capability. Remember that. Number 3, anxiety is trying to tell you to build physical capacity gently, okay? Because you need to move. You need to strengthen. You need to challenge your body, right, from a place of confidence rather than fear. You want to teach yourself, I am capable. What anxiety does very often is it leads to us shying away from movement. And movement needs to be fun, right? I'm not telling you go to the gym, because if you're doing things that are not fun, you're going to have a higher degree of symptoms. Remember that, right? If you're not enjoying the things you're doing throughout the day, then symptoms are going to be there in greater force. I promise you. This is just how it works. So you want to build your capacity gently. If you've been very stationary, you want to go for short walks. You want to challenge yourself a little bit by walking up some stairs, right? These sorts of things you want to do regularly, because your inner protector, okay, will make it seem like the more you rest, right, the faster anxiety is going to leave you. And this is a very clever trick. So you have probably been resting a very long time and not been getting the results that you want. It's because your system doesn't want more rest. It wants you to show it that you can build your capacity gently and take things on in the world just like you used to. Okay? So can you see how proactive this is? Okay? Anxiety shows up and we're becoming more proactive. Right? We're not becoming more stationary and small in our thinking or in our actions, right? So number 3 was building your physical capacity gently up again. Very, very important. Number 4 thing your anxiety has been trying to tell you is to clear your emotional ledger daily. Oof, this is a big one, okay? I want you to, at the end of the day, reflect on the day and ask yourself, did I really honor myself today? Did I honor myself? Like, did I put up certain boundaries with people? Did I really put myself as priority number 1, right? Did I honor myself? Did I honor my truth? Or did I go through the day always trying to, put that smile up for people so they don't feel uncomfortable? Right? That's one of the things that we tend to do. Did we tippy-toe throughout the day hoping that our symptoms don't get worse? Clear your emotional ledger daily. Was there things that you could have spoken up about that you didn't speak up about? Maybe to your family members, things that you disagree with. And instead of putting it, shoving it under the rug, right? At the end of the day, maybe you make a phone call. Right? Maybe you imagine that person in front of you and you start speaking to them, right? Your subconscious won't know the difference. So you want to clear your emotional ledger daily by asking yourself, did you honor your own needs today throughout the day? Or did you put the world first? Okay? Very, very key, very, very important. And finally, live more, monitor less. Okay? Healing cannot become your entire life. Because you go on Instagram, your algorithm is probably related to healing stuff. And there's a bit of this and a bit of that and a bit of this and a bit of that. And next thing you know, you're going, well, what do I really focus on? You're confusing yourself by taking on all this information. It's called information overload. Okay? So live more, practice monitoring less. Because the more you monitor, the faster you're going to exhaust yourself and the more often these symptoms are going to get worse. So practice, right? Create experiences. Connect with people. Play. Play like you did as a child. Pursue what fulfills you. This is a huge one. Because with anxiety, we put a lot of things on the shelf saying, I'll do that thing when I feel much, much better. And that day never seems to come. So you want to approach those things in small doses each and every day, right? What was your biggest more than anxiety moment from this video, my peaceful warriors? Go ahead and comment below. And if you'd like to learn more specifically about the Health Anxiety Recovery Program, click here. Remember that you are more than anxiety, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for joining me until the end. Bye-bye.